Okay, so it's a Thursday. The heat's back. I suppose in a way it never really went away. It was still quite warm, but you know, you get variation, and it seems to have picked up again. So you know, for me it's a good thing, but as regards training, mixed. Let's say. So I didn't film yesterday. I did some leg work. Today, back on the OHP. So I think that's all that I'll film today, just OHP, nothing else. But there's a bunch of shoulders, chest, triceps, biceps that I'm going to do today. Okay, so I think the last time I did this, I got up to 30 kilos for 3 sets of 8. So today I'm going to go 31. So, you know, no doubt this is going to be a patient slog. You know, OHP is a weak link for me, probably a weak link for a lot of people. I find the standing version, I find the technique eludes me. As soon as I start getting heavy, I go to pot. So I thought, okay, I'd rather do puny weights with decent technique than heavy weights with crappy technique. And I apply that to all my training. I think ego lifting is a big mistake. You know, you're gonna destroy your body over time. It may take time. Okay, I think I could have got 9, but no use pushing the first set. So I tend to push the last set maybe, and not always. Depends on the movement. So as I said last time, 3 sets of 8 with 30. So this time, I'm aiming for 4 sets of 8 with 31. So far, we're winning. You know, a lot of people probably looking at these, you know, this latest batch of videos that I'm putting up, you know, with my OHP inclines, you know, thinking how puny are those weights, how small are those weights, you know. I thought he was a strong kid, but no, look at those puny weights. Yeah, it's just a neglected weak point, and I'm hoping to remedy it. I'm hoping that there's some low-hanging fruit here, so I can make some good progress. But yeah, I think it's again, you know, it's all part of the you know, my general perspective here. You know, training past 60. You know, it's not the same as it was at 20, 30, 40 or whatever. You know, then I was willing to do risky, dumb things, and I enjoyed it no end. You know, I did a lot of karate. You know, it's risky. You know, I did a stint of boxing, which is great, but you know, I've quickly worked out. You know, it's a mugs game, really. You know, anybody does boxing, great. You know, I understand the attraction, I really do. But you know, I'm not willing to put my head through that. But I experienced it for a while, you know. So before I did it, I'd done a lot of karate. So you know, it's obviously boxing and karate is very, very different, but you know, I think there was some sort of carryover. You know, I was in reasonable condition, let's say. Powerlifting, equally, it's got its risk factor. You know, it might not be the most risky thing to do, but it's got a risk factor. But let's do this first. Okay, 8, probably easier than the first set. Not bad. I mean, I was listening to Lee Haney recently. You know, it resonated with me. You know, it's, yeah, you can lift heavy. You know, so I think you would define heavy as sort of like, you know, 5 reps and under. You can lift heavy, but eventually it's going to catch up with you. You know, you're not going to get away with it unscathed. You're going to get joint issues, and certainly I've got them. Yeah, I don't think they're not, you know, to the point that it's you know, it's crippling disability, but I've got joint issues, and I think, you know, it's one of the things that's put me off this you know, OHP. Yeah, shoulder discomfort, more recently elbow discomfort. Yeah, you know, I wouldn't say it was bad. I can do this now and it's all right, but you know, let's say, you know, in bed at night I can feel the stiffness, definitely. But you know, I'm willing to work around it. You know, I've taken out flat bench pressing, because I believe that's you know, that's harsh on the shoulders. I'm considering doing some close grip bench press for higher reps. Maybe that's yeah, probably not ideal for the elbows, but it's a compromise, let's say. I'm considering that. But for the time being, I'm not doing any flat benching. Full conventional deadlifting, you know, I find that straining on my elbows. And again, you know, I'm thinking, you know, as things are, it doesn't seem so bad. So, you know, I want to get back into deadlifting. But I've definitely taken out the low bar squat. The low bar squat's gone for a good while. You know, I guess that the low bar squat is the main culprit for my elbow pain. I'm just guessing. Okay, let's go again. So the third set, hopefully it goes. Yeah, felt good actually. I reckon that on this last set I'll get more than 8. So yeah, I'm going to say the you know, the OHP is starting to flow. So I think it's one of those moves that you can train relatively frequently, and you know, you can recover quite quickly. I don't think it's taking a massive overall body toll. But yeah, I like it a lot. Definitely. Definitely. I mean, there is, you know, it's quite psychologically difficult to do what you're not good at. You know, it's sort of like you're exposing your weaknesses. You know, I'm exposing my weaknesses on YouTube. You know, not that it really matters, I suppose. You know, there's no great issue with it, but yeah, you know, this is a reality. You know, hopefully, you know, I think it's another thing that I'd like this channel to be. You know, I want it to be real. You know, I don't want it to be a sort of like rainbows and unicorns and like these 20-year-olds fake natties who go from strength to strength to strength to strength, lifting tremendous weights, and you know, you've got all the abs and the intercostals and all, you know, everything's wonderful and life is great and your stocks only go up and you win the lottery every week. You know, no, this is not that at all. This is reality, and this is, you know, getting old, facing the decline and dealing with the crap that, you know, comes with the sort of like, you know, the wear and tear and the poor recovery, and you know, the psychological battle of keeping going even though, you know, it's not all, you know, it's not all miraculous like it was when you first started. You know, I think that there's more value in training for us older people than there is for young people. I really do. I think that, you know, you need to do this now. This is something that is now a necessity. Okay, last set. Hopefully I'll get more than 8. Nine. Attempted 10. But yeah, that's good, definitely good. So, went up a kilo. Yeah. I mean, a kilo, okay, it's 1 kilo. But going up a kilo from 30 is a 3% increase. So, it's quite a hefty increase. So I went up a kilo, I went up a set, so from 3 sets to 4 sets. I didn't really go up a rep. I think last time I did the 30 kilos, it went 8, 8, 10. Yeah, so my last set I got 10 reps, I believe. This time I went 8, 8, 8, 9. So yeah, I mean, it's not all incredible positivity, but yeah, generally speaking it was. So I'm happy with that, definitely. Okay, I'm going to stop filming today, that's it. You know, I'm not sure that anybody, you know, really watches long videos of people training. You know, maybe it's, you know, it's interesting to hear somebody sort of express their ideas and opinions. You know, if only to think about your own opinions and think about, you know, where the other person's going wrong. But yeah, good stuff altogether, good stuff, enjoy it no end. Can't get out. So, hasta la vista, hasta la próxima.